Every single year, over 4 million people come to this part of Canada to see the Canadian Rockies, and nearly all of them land in Alberta, rent a car, and drive straight to Banff, Canada's first ever national park and one of the busiest mountain destinations in the country. But as someone who grew up here, when I want the Rockies without the noise, this is where I and most of the locals actually go, where you get the exact same majestic peaks, the same raw wilderness, but with barely a fraction of Banff's touristy foot traffic, on a drive through some of the prettiest roads in the world. Welcome to Kananaskis, Alberta. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're driving just over an hour, about 90 kilometers, to one of my favorite places in the Rockies. It's a place with over 4,000 square kilometers of wild, beautiful Rocky Mountain nature, sharp peaks, lakes that look like glass, and it's so quiet you can actually hear your own heartbeat. With the goal of avoiding high-traffic places of Banff, we're first going to drive to Barrier Lake, then slowly make our way further up towards a place called Kananaskis Village, and then finally end up at Wedge Pond. The drive up from Calgary toward Kananaskis is easily one of the prettiest stretches of road you can experience, especially right now as we approach the summer months. You get this brief, beautiful window where the foothills completely wake up and turn this vibrant lush green right against the backdrop of the rugged limestone peaks. The further you go, the more the rolling prairies give way to sheer rock. The roads open up and the traffic completely thins out, and you realize you're entering a completely different world. And our first stop is just around the corner. Right as you pass this big Kananaskis sign, there is one important thing you need to know. Unlike Banff, this is a provincial park system, which means you need a Kananaskis Conservation Pass to park at any of the trailheads. It's $15 for a daily pass or $90 for an annual pass. You can buy it online or on your phone right before you get here, which registers your license plate automatically. With our pass all sorted online, we pulled right into our very first destination. So here we are at our first stop, and right away, the contrast to Banff is undeniable. There are no tour buses, no crowded boardwalks, and the parking lot is almost completely empty. But this place has a history you wouldn't expect from a place this quiet. While it looks completely normal, Barrier Lake is actually man-made. Right back in these trees sat Camp 130, Canada's very first World War II internment camp. Starting in 1939, over 600 captured German soldiers and officers were imprisoned right here. To pass the time, the Canadian government put them to hard labor, and they were tasked with completely clearing out the massive forest valley that now forms the very bed of this lake. Decades later, this valley was flooded, leaving behind this stunning reservoir. Today, the barbed wire is long gone, replaced by the Kananaskis Boathouse, where you can rent canoes and stand-up paddleboards. We arrived around 9:30 in the morning, so it isn't quite open yet for the day, but getting here early means we get the entire place all to ourselves. The water is pristine, the sky is perfectly clear, and you get this beautiful sandy shoreline completely to yourself. Oh wow, the water is still coming from up there, coming all the way down that little hill and into the lake. It's almost midway through May, and there's still a little bit of ice left here in patches. Following the trail from the shore leads you into a dense pine forest. And there's benches all over if you want to have a spot for picnic. Even from inside the tree line, you get these incredible flashing views of the water below. From Barrier Lake, the road cuts much deeper into the valley, and this is where the drive turns completely cinematic. As you carve through the rock cuts, the mountains start moving closer and closer. There's something incredibly grounding about just sitting back watching these massive peaks unfold right outside your window, with absolutely zero traffic to stress you out. We turned right and pulled into Kananaskis Village, our stop number 2. Sitting high up in the pines, the main parking lot opens directly into a massive alpine courtyard surrounded by jagged summits. It feels less like a tourist hotspot and more like a hidden mountain sanctuary. And just when I said that it was a cloudy day, now the sun is out and it is incredible. There is something about the sun coming out that makes every adventure 10 times better. The weather out here in the mountains can change in an instant. Just as we stepped out onto the trail, the overcast skies completely split open. And then, right when the trail started getting quiet, Kananaskis gave us the kind of moment you can't really plan. Just walking on the trail and there's actually the wildlife right in front of us. There's a lone deer just chilling on the trail. Oh my god, there's another one there now. And off they go. I've never seen them up close. I mean, I have in a car, but I've never been walking and seen them. That was amazing. So there's actually a golf course right over there. I don't know if you can see it. The river snaking through the valley floor below is the Kananaskis River, and carved right into the wilderness next to it is a championship 36-hole golf course. There are multiple viewpoints scattered all around this ridge trail, each with its own dedicated benches where you can just sit back and soak in the quiet. It's built perfectly for slowing down and actually appreciating the landscape. Oh, I think it tells you which mountain you're looking at. So it's actually so cool that from this viewpoint it tells you which mountain you're looking at. And just behind these trees is the actual Kananaskis Village. Oh man, I can smell the smell of fire pits and barbecues going on. And it smells really nice. It smells like charcoal, ashy smell in the air. But don't let that quiet, cozy forest vibe fool you. This exact village was chosen to host the official G7 summit in 2025, where world leaders from across the globe travel down these exact roads for high-level politics. Inside the resort grounds, the layout feels completely wide open. They built this beautiful mountain courtyard right in the center, complete with a flowing man-made waterfall and a pristine pond. The village center operates like a self-contained alpine sanctuary. You can rent mountain bikes to explore the endless paved trails, stop by the tiny post office, browse local clothing shop, or just grab a hot coffee and thaw out by the grand fireplace in the common area. Whether you're just day tripping like a local or stopping in for a coffee, it's the perfect spot to slow down and rest. But we still had one final destination on our roadmap, and it ended up giving us just the most jaw-dropping visual of the entire journey. To cap off the day, we pulled into our final destination, Wedge Pond. It is a spot that often gets overlooked on the map, but it holds some of the most dramatic views in the entire valley. The trail from the parking lot is incredibly short, cutting right past lightning-shattered pines before the thicket opens up to an absolute mirror. Wedge Pond is a simple flat 1 kilometer loop. It's incredibly easy to walk, but the real magic here happens when you look closely at the water. The pond is still like very, very...
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah. You see it, right? Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, it's really nice. On a calm spring day, this pond creates an absolute mind-bending optical illusion where the mountain reflects perfectly in the still water. And it's a pretty accessible place to get to as well. Right behind those trees over there is the main highway, and you just pull into here and walk maybe a minute or two, and then you're at the shore of this beautiful pond. Banff is famous for a reason, but days like this remind me that some of the best parts of the Rockies are the places people drive past on their way somewhere else. And as long as places like Wedge Pond stay this quiet, Kananaskis might just remain Canada's best kept secret, hiding next to Banff. See you in the next adventure.